was it like, Etta James and Muddy Waters and BB King were some of my favorite artists. So what were they like in person?
Okay. All right. So I was on several shows with Etta James. Mm-hmm. I didn't get to meet her in person. Now let me tell you.
Are you for real? Wow.
No, let me tell you. Here's another exclusive.
Okay.
Now what is the audience for this show? What is the audience range? Let me see. Tell me how far deep I can go. How much I got?
You can go deep. We got all type of artists. We got from young to old up there. So you good.
Okay. All right. I'll try to keep this where you can read between the lines. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I was at a show with Etta, and she was downstairs in her dressing room. I was on stage. Some of her people came by and said, "Hey, there's a lady up there playing a trumpet." And she says, "Really? That sounds so cool." So this is what they tell me. So they come up to me, they say, "Hey, Etta would like to meet you down at in a dressing room." I said, "Really?" Oh, because I love me some Etta James. Mm-hmm. So I told Albert, I said, "Hey, I'm going to go down there and meet with Etta. I'll be back." And he says, "Nope, you can't go down there."
What?
What? Nope. Because they say she's fluid. What can I say? So I wasn't allowed.
Oh man, I would have been like, "Sorry, I'm gonna go with it."
I was scared. I did whatever Albert told me to. And then to be totally honest here, after about a year of touring with Albert, I didn't intend this to happen, but I ended up falling in love with him. So we were, partners. So he was overly protective and a little controlling towards me. So that messed up that introduction with Etta. But Muddy Waters, so when we were playing it, I never forget this one, we were playing in California at a winery. And this was the show with, this one I met John Lee Hooker and Muddy Waters. And I go and they just are just down to earth, just chatting away, saying hello to me, asking me about what I've been doing, how long I've been playing, just friendly as all get out. Mm-hmm. So that was a beautiful experience because I just in awe of their excellence. Mm-hmm. Now, when I was living in Vegas, I had met, well, there's another story with the Bobby Blue Band. We all had our buses lined up at a big show. So I take a break from Albert's bus and some of the Bobby Blue Band people waving, "Hey, come on down." I said, "Oh, okay, here I come." And I get on that bus. Poof! Smoke City.
They was over there.
Whoa! Whoa! I said, "What? Okay, let me see who's in here."
Get through the fog.
Yeah, I gotta work my way through. And oh my God, they were so much fun. I'm just sitting there chit-chatting and having fun. And then somebody looked out the window and said, here comes Albert. I was like, everybody's like, "Oh no, here comes Albert." And boom, boom. And he comes get on the bus. He says, "Hey girl, get off this bus." I'm like, "Oh."
Hey, let you have no fun up in there.
No, it's stopping multiple things, So that, it's hard. Sometimes they, don't date at work. And those are some of the pitfalls when you date at work, So they, they get all jealous and possessive of you and stuff like that. Yeah. So when I met BB King, I remember that one very clearly. That was in Memphis on an outdoor festival. And he says he was flirty. "Oh, you so pretty. How you doing?" I said, "I'm good. Thank you very much." And, very, besides that, very cordial. So many years later, I went down to LA to his club and I didn't expect him to be there. BB's in Hollywood. Lord, he was there.
Heck nah.
And I had a friend with me and BB is a serious flirt. That's why they think they got about 17 kids.
Wow.
He's a big flirt. He's a big flirt. So he remembered me. And yeah, I think I got an autographed picture of him. I have a museum in my basement. And man, I don't know. I should have filmed this in the basement so I could do a little scan of my museum memorabilia and everything. So I got his autograph there, but he was attracted really to my friend. Okay, here's another exclusive place.
Well, look at that. I'm getting all the exclusive today. That's what I do.
So he says, hey, I'm staying at the it's the Hollywood, no, the Beverly Hills. It was in Beverly Hills where he was staying. And he says, why don't you all come over? And we said, okay. You silly young girls, right? And so we go over there and we meet his bodyguard and some of the band members, and they said, oh, BB's not available at the moment. And these rooms had doorbells on them. He was in the suite. It was his doorbell, ringing the doorbell. He gave us the right room though. Rang the doorbell, but he didn't answer. And then they told us he wasn't available. So come on, hang with them. So we went and hung out with them, and he actually never came out of the room. So between the time he gave us that room number and everything, hooked up with somebody else.
Hey, wow, that's crazy. So yeah, I see that we got some exclusives from Lady J today.
Yeah, I'm turning this fast. Sorry.
That's all good. It's all good, Lady J.
Do you go full all the way, or do you?
Yeah, all the way after this.
Okay, wait a minute.
Don't worry. Hey, don't worry. We got time. Yeah, I see Lady J. She been dropping jewels. We done got about 3 exclusives up in this piece. Yeah. 3. So y'all better make sure y'all watch this up in this book so y'all can get these exclusives, because we finna get it.
I'm getting hot.
It's all good. See, I'm putting you in the hot seat. I'm putting you in the hot seat up in this.
Yes.
So I know you done traveled to all these different cities. What was your favorite city to play in?
I have to say Las Vegas. That's where I stayed. And I had no intentions of leaving. I love the showrooms. Sometimes I was in major showrooms where all major artists played. And then I was able to, I love the backstage experience, the green rooms. I just a ham for all that stuff. And one thing at the Mandalay Bay, when I played the Hard Rock Hotel, now this is my band. So my band was called Lady J Huston and the Fireballs. And we really excelled in Las Vegas and ended up winning multiple Best Blues Band Awards, performer. And then people referred to me as the Las Vegas Queen of the Blues. So I was everywhere. And I liked the Hard Rock Hotel. They had different green rooms named after artists. So there was the James Brown green room, the Etta James green room. And those are 2 I remember right off the top. And they had, different types of furniture and things. So they're very, very entertaining area to be in. It's just the corporate gigs were beautiful. They feed you well, they pay you well. When I came back to St. Louis and started performing, I went through like a culture shock.
You're like, hold on, I went from this to that.
I'm like, oh no, that's what the pay is. Really?
Like, I need to get back to that. Let me ask you this. Okay, so I saw you was on America's Got Talent as a finalist. You was featured with ABC World News Tonight with Diane Sarah. It seemed like you was doing a lot of major stuff, and then you had a health crisis in 2013. So can you tell us what happened, or yeah?
No, I don't mind.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so with America's Got Talent, I was on the finale show. I was not a finalist. Okay. So the crew I was with called the Audition All Stars. So I was they rigged my audition and treated me terribly as far as how they edited what actually happened. And what I learned, and I'm just sharing this story first. Okay. If you go on a reality TV, you sign away your rights to everything about you, so they can slice and dice you any kind of way they want to. And you got to have a backstory when they're interviewing you. They prefer you have a struggling backstory. So every time they would ask me, oh, 5 kids, it must have been just terrible. I said, yes, it was a little difficult, but we persevered, and I ended up, graduating and going to college. And then they said, oh, this must have been horrible. Well, not exactly. What happened was,
they try to make it worse.
Yeah, I didn't know that was the game I was supposed to play. So when I did my audition, people went crazy over it, but they zonked me. And I had family there. We was like, we don't understand what just happened. When they played it online, on TV, they had me stationed in New York and I was in LA. And they had a crowd, wasn't even mine. So I was just like devastated. So then they called me back. They said, we'd like you to be on the finale show. I'm like, why? Because you're one of our favorites. Well, you didn't act that way. And then they put me into this confessional after the audition. So you get in this black curtain room and just you and the producer, and they want to go through. So how do you feel about that? They want you to cry and everything. Yeah. I said, man, that was phony. I said, you all know my history. Y'all go to my website. That boom, 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 boom. None of that aired. Okay, so then they said, come back and we will pay you, because you go there, you don't get paid to do the audition and everything. I got paid. I got to hang out with everybody that was in the cast. We had an after party. It was beautiful. David Hasselhoff, Sharon Osbourne, Piers Morgan, all these people. And it turned out to be a fabulous. But I said, the only way I'm going to come back and do this finale is if it's unedited. And they promised it would not be edited. And it wasn't. Okay. So that ended up being a beautiful experience. So the Diane Sawyer, around 1992 or 3, I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. And at that time, it was a barely heard of illness. And the support group there asked me if I would be their celebrity spokesperson. And I wanted to do it because I thought I could help inspire others, because when I first hit me, I could barely move and you couldn't touch me because my body was just like collapsed. It was overly sensitized. And doing water aerobics and holistic things, I came back. Then years later, this doctor asked me, did I have certain symptoms? I said, yes. And they said, well, you have lupus. I'm like, oh no. And so then I go to the lupus support group to learn about that. And they said, would you be our celebrity spokesperson? And I said, sure. So I would do concerts, do fundraisers, and go and do speaking engagements. And then we got a call to go on ABC World News Tonight and have me be the feature story. And so Paula Ferris and all these different things was going on. It was a wonderful experience. And I was telling them about my journey and how to get reductions in medical billing. Basically, all you have to do is ask for it. And a lot of people don't know that. So I wanted to share. So I call myself a health advocate. This is why I don't mind sharing what went through. Then in 2013, I started having seizures, and they could not, what they called, I forget the term right now, but unknown etiology, pretty much, why they were happening. Did a lot of testing, couldn't figure it out. And when it first thing happened that was different, I was singing, a guest singer at this church, and big church, I think it was called the Center for Spiritual Living, Las Vegas. I think that was the church. And it was time for me to sing my lines. And I couldn't think of what they were. And I saw auras, white auras all over the room. And I'm thinking I'm having one heck of a religious experience. I'm thinking I'm getting ready to elevate, and I'm like, I'm like into this, a little bit. And she's keep say the words, say the words. I come out of it. I step out of it and I start singing and things. And then I was just like off the whole rest of the day. Well, I started getting worse, and I had my band. I couldn't book us, but one of the guitarists and his wife, they came over and they said, let's help you out, because they know I like to keep a clean house. Mm-hmm. And I woke up and they were in my face. And I didn't know what had happened. My arm was hurting and everything. And that's when they called the ambulance and things. So the doctors, I went into rehab, and they said, we don't know what to do for you. We think you need to get your papers in orders. Your life may be ending soon. My mom was coming back and forth, trying to care for me. And she says, I have more resources and I can't keep traveling back and forth. So you need to come on back to St. Louis. That is why I ended up back here. And so then I started going to Washington University, a hospital university. The doctors there, they put me on, like I was on 25 milligrams of this medication in Vegas. They said, well, you need to be on 200 milligrams of this twice a day. I said, you all are really getting ready to kill me. I guess.
Yeah, they try to make.
Yeah, I know I'm going out now for sure. This is it. And lo and behold, the seizure stopped. Well, they recited, quite a bit, then it just like, and then they told me, matter of fact, by the way, you do not have lupus. So I'm up here being a spokesperson. I'm in Mason Magazine, Mason National News. I'm in many articles, local news, all kind of stuff, because we was hitting the road, with this inspirational story. And I was like, wow, well, that's a good thing, because it's really heavy in the African-American community, females, and it can definitely be deadly. So after they got me under control with that, I was barely able to walk still. And then I found a holistic doctor named Matthew Flory. We called him functional medicine. The church I go to was the Center for Spiritual Living here in St. Louis. They told me about functional medicine, which I had never heard of. And so these doctors, they have the traditional medical background, and they combine holistic healing to treat the whole body, as we call it holistic. Not just, let's give you a pill for that symptom, and then that might cause an effect. Let me give you a pill to counter that effect and give you another pill, Yeah. So it was about treating the whole body. And he found I had allergies to foods and environmental things. And so we changed my diet around. We changed the feng shui of my home and all kinds of things. And wow, my life improved. And so I had my first show at the National Blues Museum. My dear friend, Frank Dunbar, who hired me to play with Albert King, he said, whenever you're ready, I will get you a band together, which he did.